So Workday payroll process consists of a sequence of steps, which include first one is run pay calculation. We will discuss in detail about each option. Second one is run pay accounting and run pay complete. And later, settlement. And to manage and maintain, or if you run into any challenges, errors, issues, so we have we also should know how to bring the pay results back, right? Reversals, etc. First, let's talk about cancellations. Reversals we'll discuss, which is run pay cancel, pay run complete. In addition to this, we will also discuss manual payroll run and automatic payroll run. Okay, right. So let's discuss in detail. Once we set up the payroll basic framework, and once we create certain earnings and deductions, so we have to proceed for testing. Testing in the sense whether the earnings are correctly working and calculating for all the employees as per the design or not. The calculating accurately or not. The deductions are deducting, as per the requirement or not. So how we will going to check through the payroll process? Not only that, if you want to finalize the pay results, if you want to run the end-to-end, if you want to run or simulate the payroll, so we will use this payroll process. The first task in the payroll process is run pay calculation. So what is meant by run pay calculation? Run pay calculation is a kind of a simulation. Okay, simulation. Here we are going to check whether the payroll has been successfully, we are able to run the payroll successfully, or is there any errors with the employee records? Is there any errors with the employee records? Or is there any employee pay results are pending for the previous pay period? Or is there any employees on hold? Everything we will track in the first step, which is called run pay calculation. Let me repeat. So run pay calculation is to run the payroll for group of employees. Also to run the payroll for particular events. Example, compensation changes, benefit changes, etc. Also to run the payroll for what is that? Employees on hold, etc. So I will explain in detail. Whenever we're going to run the pay calculations, we have to ask two questions to the customer. Okay, the question one, for whom we are running the payroll? For whom we are running the payroll? This answer will give the pay group, whether we are running the payroll for monthly paid employees, weekly paid employees, bi-weekly paid employees, semi-monthly paid employees. Okay, so yeah. And then for which pay frequency you are running the payroll? For which pay frequency you are running the payroll? So the two parameters here is, one is pay group for whom we are running, another one is for which pay period you are running the payroll. These are the two parameters we have to enter. Let's see on the screen. So access the task run pay calculation. First step. Okay, this is how the page looks. Run pay. Why? Okay, we are in remote mode. That's why it's looking a little shrink. It's okay. So if you see the parameters, pay period, for which pay period you are running the payroll. Another is for which pay group or pay run group you are running the payroll. Okay, these two parameters we have to enter. Then after we have to choose criteria. Now let's see for which pay period you are running the payroll. Select this prompt. So here Workday will list out all the pay groups to be run or which are already in progress. We can see those results here. You can directly go to the periods to calculate, pay periods to calculate, or you can navigate from the pay group. For example, I want to know USA semi-monthly admin regional, I want to run the payroll for this pay group. Which pay period we have to run? Automatically the values will be available here. 1/1/2019. Okay, you can select this pay period. And then automatically the pay group associated with this pay period. I hope you might remember, whenever we're creating a pay group, we included run category, we included pay period, correct? So since you select the pay period, automatically the available pay groups or pay run groups, you can find it here. So this pay period is associated with this pay groups. So for which pay group you want to run? Or these three pay groups are grouped into one pay run group, which is semi-monthly. You can select the pay run group also. It's up to your requirement, but in real time, we are going to create only pay groups. Pay run groups, we are not going to create. Okay. Either your input value is pay group or pay run group. So what is the difference? For example, we have semi-monthly employees. So we have semi-monthly admins, semi-monthly professionals, semi-monthly corporates. Now, each one is a different pay group. Semi-monthly admin is one pay group, semi-monthly professional is one pay group, semi-monthly corporates is one pay group. Would you like to run for each pay group separately, or would you like to run the end for all the pay groups in one go? If you're choosing, if you would like to run the pay group, all the payroll process if you want to run the payroll for all these three pay groups in one go, then you can choose the pay run group. Semi-monthly USA pay run group. When you select it, all the pay groups are grouped here. All these three pay groups, admin regional, professional corporate, professional regional, all these three pay groups are grouped into one pay run group. What is the advantage? In one go, you are going to run the pay group you're going to run the payroll for all the three pay groups at one stretch. But most of the customers, at least like what are the customers I have seen are configured, they have a separate pay groups, monthly, weekly, semi-monthly, but they don't have anything like based on their management levels or nature of the business. Okay, I'm going to select pay group here, not pay run group. So let me say USA semi-monthly admin region or USA semi-monthly professional corporate. Professional corporate. So there are my parameters. Two parameters I've entered: frequency, which pay group I'm running the payroll. Next is criteria. Whom would you like to run the payroll? To whom you have to run this payroll? Employees. Smart calculation is Workday delivered one. What is meant by smart calculation? I don't know how many employees pay results are pending. I don't know how many employees compensation change has been initiated between these pay frequency from 1/1/2009 to 1/1/2015. I don't know how many employees are terminated. I don't know how many employees has been promoted. I don't know how many employees benefits has been removed or added. In this situation, I'm asking Workday, you do the calculation, smart calculation, which means calculate all the events. I'm not restricting to any event. Run for all the events, run for retro, run for compensation changes, run for benefits. To make it simple, all the employees run the payroll. Workday will decide. Okay, Workday will include all these details. Or next option is smart calculation. What do you mean by smart calculation? This is really very helpful at the time of testing event. In this particular pay frequency, assume we are going to run the payroll for 100 employees. 100 employees, we are going to run the payroll based on this pay group. But compensation changes have been initiated for 25 employees. Now, I want to run the payroll only for the employees whosoever compensation change has been impacted, whosoever has compensation changes. I will select the event, which means out of 100 employees, I'm running the payroll only for the employees who has a compensation changes in this pay frequency, not prior nor after. Is helpful for test because once you assign a compensation and we will create an earning, and then we have to see whether the details has been fetched into the payroll calculation engine or not. That we can that details we can track here. Okay. Another one, I want to know or I want to calculate all payroll only for the employees who is recently promoted. So whenever do promotion, absolutely the benefits compensation will be impacted. So I will select that event, job change. Or I want to run the payroll only for the employees whose payroll input has been processing. I will select payroll input. So like that, we have Workday delivered events. So you can select one of the events and you can run the payroll only for particular event. But please remember one point when you choose on the events here, which means you are running the payroll only for that particular event. The employee worker history, the event must be available. Then only it will work. Okay. Then based on results, normally regularly if you can see we have 3 results. Not yet started, not yet started, which means the payroll has been not started at all. In progress, which means the payroll is currently already initiated, which is in progress. Error, which means payroll has been initiated, but some of the employees has run into an error. These are the 3 common status we can see. Okay. Apart from that, we do have retro, pending, on hold. Regularly, we are not going to use. Okay. So whenever it's sorry, yeah.
The run pay calculation though does not finalize the payroll.
No, it's not going to finalize the payroll. It's just a kind of a simulation to ensure all the employees in the pay group has been fetched by the pay calc engine or not. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. Got
right.
it.
Yeah. Let's see all the status. Select here. Existing status if you select. So as I mentioned, in progress, not yet started, error or requires recalculation. But when you select all the status, you can see error, hold, in progress, pending completion of retro, requires retro recalculation, differences. Don't worry, I'm going to cover here those same things here. I will explain. Or another one, this is really one of the good enhancement from Workday. Here is, I want, let's say in one pay group, we have total 100 employees. Same example. But I want to test only for 2 people, whether the new hires, we have hired two new people in this current pay frequency. I want to test whether the 2 new employees has been processing into the payroll or not. What I will do, I will select the workers here. Okay, let me see who are all part of this pay group. Yeah. Yeah. Members. Now, let's see, we have in this pay group currently 55 employees are there. Okay. Out of 55 employees, assume there are two new hires, Angela Mora, Arjun. So what I do, I'll just testing whether new employees has been pulled into the payroll calculation engine or not. I will select only those employees. So which means out of 55 people, we are running the payroll only for 2 people just to check whether the gross and nets are calculating or not. Okay. So this one, please ignore. This is part of again accounting. I will explain once with a new feature has been added. I will help you what exactly it is, maybe in the next session. So any questions so far on pay period, pay group, parent group, or the criteria before we are moving to these values?
When it says based on result status, that's the prior status.
Based on the
Right.
result status, by default, what happens here is, ma'am, by default, if your first time you're running the payroll, it will be not yet started. If you already initiated payroll, currently if you see here, in progress, which means the status will be in progress. Okay, actually this is just a reporting purpose. Okay, it's not going to play any key role. Just like, okay, what is the current status of this pay group, professional corporate, which is in progress, just for reporting purpose. It's not going to play any key role.
Got you.
Right.
But
Okay.
typically you're just going to use smart calculation.
Absolutely correct. True. Because so though we are a payroll consultant, we must be aware, and other module people also should be informed for us with us. Hey, these many employees comp changes happen, these many employees benefit changes happen. Hey, these many employees have been promoted, demoted, or transferred. We are the people who is always in the CC in all emails across all the modules. Okay, so the best option always smart calculation. These are all only for just for testing purpose. If you're going to run the payroll for entire population in the pay group, always recommended is smart calc. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Then, so once you enter the pay period and pay group, currently someone is already initiated. That's why it's in progress. I believe it's we only in the last session. So now here we have few more options. Let's discuss all these details. Here you can see pay groups to be processed. You can expand this also. Which pay group you are processing? Is off cycle or is a regular or off cycle run category, on cycle or off cycle, on cycle. Action reason is not applicable for on cycle. Action reason is applicable only if you're reversing a pay result. Give the reason why are you reversing. If you are doing correction to the pay result, give a reason why are you correcting. Adjustments, those are nothing but action reason. We will discuss in a separate topic. We're talking about the complete regular payroll process. Adjustments, reversals, corrections, that will pick up in the next upcoming session after completion of payroll process. And then in progress, how many employees the payroll currently is in progress? 53 employees it has been in progress. Total number of employees is 54. What happens to one employee? One employee has requires recalculation, which means whenever you see a request recalculation, there will be two things or three things. One, employee in this pay frequency payroll is already initiated, and a payroll input has been assigned to this worker. Could be one reason. Second reason, payroll is already initiated. The first task is initiated. After initiating, garnishment has been created. Or the third reason, employee on hold and employee has been released when the payroll is in progress. So either of the three reasons, you can see an employee under request recalculation. When you select on the numeric, here you can see the worker as well. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, any questions? Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about these reasons. So in progress, waiting means sometimes we'll keep employee on hold due to disciplinary action, employee absconded, or employee sabbatical leave. Okay, we are not going to run the payroll for those employees. In such cases, the employee status will be in waiting. Request recalculation. Here you can see for whom we have to rerun the payroll. Pending completion means, this is a little tricky part. Let me explain. Pending completion means I have 54 employees in my pay group. I ran the payroll. 50 employees successfully processed. For remaining 4 employees has lot of errors. Can be their eligibility criteria is not met, or The compensation details are not pulling into the, whatever the reason, payroll, we are not able to run the payroll for 4 people. Now my question is, because of these 4 employees in the pay group, shall we hold, I mean, can we hold the entire payroll process?
No,
No, we have to process it. At least for the people who are successfully processing, we will process and then we'll select these employees manually. Somehow we will manage. I will explain that scenario. That is the case. It will tell you here, hey, in this last pay frequency, these employees, you have not processed the payroll, or payroll has been initiated but not completed. Okay, so this is the, if you see any employee means payroll has not been completed, previous payroll has not been completed for that employee. Could be a reason, error, criteria, on hold, any of the reason. In error is currently 0, but any chance if you see a number something like 2, 3, 4, 5 or 54, which means those employees have errors. You have to resolve each and every employee by selecting here. You have to resolve the error. I will create intentional few errors. We will work on it. On hold. Sometimes on hold is nothing but skip the employee from the current payroll process. For this current pay frequency, for 54 employees, we are processing the payroll. By any chance, you want to skip certain employees due to any reason. Some employees may go on sabbatical leave. Okay, 1 year, 2 years, depends. In that sabbatical leave, company is not going to pay salary to their employees. So what we will do, we'll keep that employee on hold. Okay, which means you are not running the payroll. One of the employee absconded. You're not able to reach the employee through mobile nor any other communication. But you are not clear the employee has resigned or not resigned. You want to wait for a month or at least one pay frequency to see whether this employee will be come back or not. So since the employee absconded, so you are not gonna you are not gonna process the payroll for the worker. In that case, we have to keep this employee on hold. Let's see how to keep that employee on hold. We'll select one of the employee here. Anyhow, here we have the pay group open. I will go Mr. Andrew Walton. I will go how to place employee on hold. Go to the employee pay tab, results, pay result, related calculation, magnifier. Go to the pay calc. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Pay calc, hold. Confirm. Now the employee pay calc status from in progress to it will change to on hold. Now come back here. Run the payroll for the same pay frequency. Okay. Semi-monthly. So I'm going to select professional corporate, semi-monthly, pay group, corporate. Now when you select this, I just refresh, you can see the employee on hold, which means you're not running the payroll for this employee. Workday is not going to process the payroll for this employee. Okay. Now let me release this employee. From how to release this employee, same process. Go to worker, but ensure that employee, if you want to place on hold, the payroll should be in progress. If the payroll is successfully completed, you cannot keep this employee on hold. Pay tab, results, pay calc, on hold. Okay. Let me repeat the same so that this should be become 0. Now, no employee on hold. Let's initiate the pay result. When initiate OK, which means we are running the payroll for all the employees in the pay group. Refresh until the status shows successfully completed. The process has been successfully completed. Scroll down. Let's see. Is there an employee in error? No. Total employees 54. Processed in progress employee 54. The number is matching. If you would like to see who are all those employees, select on this. Export to Excel or directly select on the numeric. You can see the list of employees.
You can see the what? The
List of the employees, ma'am. And export Excel if you would like to.
mhm.
Or
Okay.
print the PDF. This is a grid view. And this is worksheet. Okay. Now we ran the payroll. The first step has been successfully completed. Payroll has been successfully completed. The first step. Now what happened when we initiate the payroll? What system exactly has been calculated? We can track those results under process history. Select this, I'm sorry, process information. Scroll down. So no one will ask us an interview. Don't worry about this. And what happened exactly in the system when initiate the run pay calculation is it identified the pay group, it will create the parent, it identified or selected the employees, and it has been calculated or compared with the previous pay results, validate the employee active status, fetch the payroll inputs if applicable, calculate the results, where is the results, remove former results after comparison, or launch accounting, etc., etc., etc. I request please go through these steps, not mandatory, just for your understanding what exactly happened on the screen. I mean, in this process. Any questions here? And also one more thing. Sometimes what happen, performance issues could be internet, could be weather is not the right term. Could we can also see how much time has been taken for each seconds it has been completed. Okay, you can also track the how much time it will take. One other rule here is if any pay group should complete at least within 60 minutes. If it is taking beyond 60 minutes, any idea what might be the reason? Let's say you initiate the step. We completed just 7 seconds. But if it take more than 1 hour, what might be the reason?
It's the tenant.
Tenant, okay. Could be internet, could be tenant related issues, could be most logical calculations you might have created. Okay, there are several reasons. So make sure the payroll process must be completed in 1 hour. If it is not, raise a case with Workday saying that, hey, so and so day and so and so time I initiate the payroll process. It has not been successfully completed within 60 minutes. What might be the reason? So they will analyze and they will come back. Okay. Any questions on the first task? Run pay calculation. Okay, let's move on.